Today's episode is an invitation, an exhale, a reminder that you don't have to have everything figured out to be worthy, whole, or in alignment. Because right now, in this season of my life, I'm rewriting my identity in real time, and I know I'm not the only one. So if you're in a chapter where you feel like you're shifting, shedding, evolving, or becoming someone you don't fully recognize yet, this episode is for you. I want you to know that you are not behind, you are not lost, but you are becoming.
Welcome to another episode of the Blemished Beauty Podcast. This podcast was designed with you in mind. If you're ready to erase the norm and embrace the truth, come pull up a chair, grab a journal, and tell a friend that your favorite Jersey girl is back with another episode. So let's get into it.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Blemished Beauty Podcast. I am your host and your favorite Jersey girl, Shira Renee. If this is your first time stopping by, thank you for coming, and I hope you stick around and become a part of the community. In this space, we focus on the things that we cover up and learn tips and ideas that will transform our minds and prepare us for the new and best version of ourselves. So with that being said, let's get into today's episode. Let me start with my truth. This past year has rewritten me in ways I didn't expect. Becoming a mom of 3 at 39. Stepping away from podcasting. Letting go of the version of myself I thought I had to be. Learning to mother differently. Learning to rest differently. Learning to trust myself differently. There were days I didn't even recognize the woman in the mirror, not because she was broken, but because she was becoming. And that's the thing about identity, right? It doesn't shift in one big moment. It shifts quietly, softly. It shifts in the middle of ordinary days. It shifts when you say no to something you used to tolerate. It shifts when you choose to rest instead of guilt. It shifts when you stop performing strength and start honoring your truth. I didn't announce my evolution, I just lived it. And that's what rewriting yourself in real time looks like. Now, somewhere along the way, we were taught that identity should be consistent, predictable, stable. That once you decide who you are, you're supposed to stay that way forever. But that's not real life. That's branding. I feel like that's survival. That's fear dressed up as certainty. Identity is a living thing and it grows with you. You are allowed to outgrow versions of yourself that once made perfect sense. You are allowed to shift your values, your desires, your boundaries, and your dreams. You are allowed to say, that used to be me, but it's not anymore. There is nothing wrong with changing. There is nothing wrong with becoming. There is nothing wrong with rewriting your identity while the world is still watching. For those of you who know me, y'all know I hate waiting for something, especially something that I can control. Now, God is still working on me and helping me manage this low level of patience that I have. But when I was pregnant, you always get the option to find out if you're carrying a boy or a girl. So y'all know as soon as I could find out, I did exactly that. I remember getting the notification that my results were ready, and I think that was the most nervous I've been throughout the entire pregnancy. I scrolled down the email slowly because these results could make or break my experience moving forward. But when I got to the section that revealed I was having a boy, I gotta be honest, y'all, I cried. Now, you must understand from my personal perspective, I've been there and I've done that. I've already had two boys, and my bonus babies are boys. So having a girl would have meant the world to me, right? Especially after the miscarriage that I had in 2018. I felt like this could have been my chance to bring another Jersey girl into this world, but obviously, God had other plans. So I gathered my emotions, and now, I had to sit with the fact that I was becoming a boy mom of three, and I wondered what that looked like. I remember telling my oldest, and he had the same reaction as me because he so desperately wanted a sister, but we all knew about the complications that I faced having my 6-year-old. So at the moment, my safety was the most priority. And at the end of the day, no one really cared what the gender was as long as we were both alive and well. Now, emotionally, this pregnancy was the best because, like I said, I was having a boy, so I already knew what to expect. It was kind of like riding a bike after years of not riding. Once you start pedaling, everything comes back to you. The physical aspect of this journey was not so great. I knew what challenges I faced, but what I didn't know was the amount of stress I would be putting on my body this time around, because this pregnancy was different from the other two because the baby was mostly all the weight. Imagine swallowing a bowling ball and carrying it around in your stomach. This was me throughout my entire pregnancy. And the bigger I got, the heavier it felt, which made it worse for me to do regular day-to-day activities. Mentally, I began to feel settled because, again, this wasn't my first rodeo, and I was able to enjoy the stuff that I couldn't enjoy in the previous pregnancies, like all the cravings and the fact that you get to rest and nobody bothers you. Because with my first pregnancy, even though I was at a youthful age, I was 23, I was anxious because you don't know what to expect your first time around. During my second pregnancy, I was stressed and I had a miscarriage. And carrying my 6-year-old, I was worried every single day that I would repeat having a miscarriage. So I didn't really get to enjoy the experience all that much. But this pregnancy was more peaceful for my mind because I knew this would be the last time that I would ever be pregnant. And I was able to work so I could enjoy all my cravings, rest and relax when I needed to. And all I had to do was just enjoy it and endure it to the end. I also rested in the fact that mothering in my 40s would be a major shift because it came with more experience and wisdom. My oldest got me in my 20s. My youngest at the time got me in my 30s. But this baby will get a more polished version of me. And that is someone I'm proud of. Having this baby taught me that it's okay to be soft and ask for help. And everyone will tell you to call them if you need them. And we all know that's not true. I actually believe that pregnancy and marriage are the two biggest tests of that theory. This pregnancy showed me exactly who to believe and who to stay away from. So to the first-time moms or women going through a similar transition, all I can say to you is trust the process. If you're in a season where you feel like you're unraveling and rebuilding at the same time, I want you to hear me clearly. There is beauty in the messy middle. You are not failing, you are transforming. You are not confused, you are clearing space. You are not inconsistent, you're evolving. You don't need a polished plan to step into a new version of yourself. You don't need permission. You don't need certainty. You don't need to explain your becoming to anyone. You can rewrite yourself while you're still figuring it out. You can rewrite yourself while you're still healing. You can rewrite yourself while you're still scared. You can be a masterpiece and a rough draft at the same time. For all my soon-to-be moms, women who are thinking of becoming one, or to the ones who are already there, motherhood is all about becoming. It's not a role. There is no off switch, so make sure you like the version you're evolving into. Honor the woman you've been, trust the woman you're becoming, and give yourself permission to rewrite your story as many times as your soul needs. May you find beauty in the unfolding. May you find courage in the in-between. And may you remember that becoming is not something you do, it's something you allow. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to rewrite your identity in real time. And I'm proud of you for letting yourself grow. For those of you who love to write and journal, here are some reflection questions for you this week. What part of your identity feels like it's shifting right now? What version of yourself are you quietly outgrowing? What truth about yourself are you finally ready to admit? What expectations or labels no longer fit? Who are you becoming beneath the surface? Let these questions sit with you. Let them breathe. Let them guide you gently towards your next chapter. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you for allowing me to create this safe space for you. Until next episode, I want you to remember, you are graced and gifted for a time such as this. You have purpose in this world, and you have been created to do great and amazing things. So until next episode, you guys, bye.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and don't forget to leave a review. You can follow Shira on all major platforms and on YouTube at Shira Renee 510. Until next time, spread love, show grace, and shine bright.